Hello, ARMY lovers. We have hot news for you. Foreign media uproar. BTS's Jungkook house has suddenly become the target of international attention because of something that was never imagined before. No one could have prepared the world, not even the most loyal soldiers, for the news that was sticking out in various international media outlets in the last 24 hours. CNN Korea, The Guardian, to the New York Times suddenly highlight one thing that surprisingly centers not on a new song, not on BTS's comeback, not even about dating rumors or solo projects. No, this time, the spotlight was on one thing that was very personal, very surprising, and, unexpectedly, sparked a heated debate among fans and international netizens alike. Jungkook's private home. Yeah, home. Not the palace. Not the studio. Not the luxury apartments commonly associated with top celebrities, but a place that is much more complex than just property. A building that has now become a kind of new symbol, one that divides opinions, ignites emotions, and secretly reveals more of the side of Jungkook that has been neatly hidden from the public. How so? How did a house, a place where Jungkook was supposed to have peace and privacy, turn into a global center of investigation, psychological analysis, and even wild speculation about his personal life? What is really going on behind those walls? And most importantly, what do foreign media invent to the point that they are willing to send journalists directly to South Korea just to prove that all this is real, not a fabrication? An internal source from the entertainment industry mentioned that since the beginning of 2025, there have been several signals indicating that Jungkook's house is not just an ordinary residence. But it was the statement of a German investigative journalist that finally shook things up. He described the house as a blend of a private museum, a place of emotional seclusion, and a form of silent rebellion of a global idol against the world that imprisoned him. The sentence ignited a fire, and from that moment on, the world changed. No one really knows where the line is between the public and the private sphere for someone whose name is already more famous than any minister of state. Especially if that person is Jungkook, BTS's golden magne, an international solo artist, and one of the most influential figures in the history of the global entertainment industry. Now, however, that boundary is being shaken, even flagrantly violated. Jungkook's private home, which has been considered a quiet zone by the army, is now the subject of heated discussion by foreign media. The first report came from The Guardian, stating that Jungkook's house, located in the elite Itaewon area, is not just a luxury residence. The house holds something unusual, something emotional, wrote the famous British pop culture journalist Elliot De Niro, who claims to have had limited access to one of the rooms in the house through a source in HYB. What did he see? A room decorated like a frozen past. The room was filled with BTS memorabilia, but not just any memorabilia. Hanging there are unpublished childhood photos of Jungkook, handwritten letters from BTS members, and, most surprisingly, an old piano that bears witness to Jungkook's farewell moment with someone who meant so much in his life. The piano sparked speculation. Some say it was a gift from my grandmother. Others, more extreme, call it the piano of sadness, where Jungkook has vented his emotions since the BTS members' departure for the army, or more deeply, since the mental struggle that was never made public. One of the Korean CNN reporters called Jungkook's house a silent statement. From the outside, the house looks minimalist and clean. But once inside, the atmosphere turns into the real world of Jungkook. Huge windows with blackout curtains, walls with surreal paintings of faceless human bodies, and even a secret room in the basement equipped with a biometric security system. Rooms that are not recorded in the building blueprint. What is Jungkook hiding there? When the question was asked to HYB, they gave only a normative answer. We will not comment on the personal life of our artist. But the foreign media did not give up. They began to dig deeper, until finally a French journalist from Le Monde wrote a sharp article entitled. In the article, he revealed that Jungkook's house does not have a television, but has a 12-square-meter meditation room designed specifically for sound therapy. The room, he said, was where Jungkook would be alone for hours, even days, when the outside world was too noisy. And in a shocking note, He mentioned that Jungkook once locked himself up for 72 hours there after a live performance that disappointed him personally. When one of the Japanese photographers managed to capture a leaked image of the inside of the house, netizens were immediately shocked. On one wall of Jungkook's workspace, there is handwriting that looks like a quote, but when enlarged, the writing is not an ordinary quote. It was a sentence in Latin, "Et noct clamavi ad te," which means, "And in the night I cry to you." Who is meant by the word "to you"? Is this an expression of God? To someone from the past? Or to the BTS members who are slowly starting to be rarely seen with him? Or to himself? The writing thrilled the fans. Comments flooded social media. Jungkook was injured, and we never realized it. All this time we only saw her smile on stage, but never knew the tears behind the curtain of that house. Dissatisfied with the media coverage, several foreign armies formed digital investigation communities. They collected all the interview footage, vlogs, and satellite images from Jungkook's home. They enlarged, examined, and even hired an architectural expert to analyze the structure of the house. One of the most controversial findings came from a Brazilian army team who said that the layout of Jungkook's house seemed to be designed like a maze, with a certain route that can only be passed if you know the personal rhythm of the owner of the house. They call the house a form of psychological architectural art, in which there is not a truly single functional space. The sofa can be a bed. The ladder can be a bookshelf. Walls can open and reveal hidden passages. All this, in their opinion, suggests that Jungkook is not just building a house. He is building protection against the world. The only one who spoke openly was Uncle Jungkook in an unofficial interview with a Korean blogger. It says, "Jungkook is not an easy child to open up to, even to us, his own family. The house is like an extension of his soul. If you can understand that house, maybe you can understand the pain she's hiding." That sentence made a scene. Many are beginning to realize that Jungkook's house is not only highlighted for its luxury or unique design, but because it is a silent symbol of a mental, emotional, and existential struggle that has never been said. In a follow-up report from the New York Times, they revealed that one of the most surprising features of the house was an old wooden box containing dozens of handwritten letters. Not from the fans, not from BTS, but from Jungkook to himself. The letters, according to the unnamed journalist, contained deeply personal reflections, anger, love, fear, and hope. One of the excerpts from the letter is as follows: "I want to be free. But if I'm free, who am I without all this?" The sentence hit hard. And for the first time, the world realized that the house was a silent witness to the greatest inner conflict that one of the greatest pop icons of the century went through. The media, fans, and even celebrities have spoken out. But one voice remained inaudible, Jungkook's own. He remained silent. Not a single upload. Not a single clarification. Not a single sign that he cares about all this fuss.